Okay, so this is my last example, the last combination for the buffer experiment part 2. This is when we are going to add excess NaOH. And so this is where the buffer is going to be the limiting reagent. So the buffer that we are working with is bicarbonate plus water forms an equilibrium with carbonate plus H3O plus. And the pKa for this equilibrium reaction is 10.3. So whenever we add NaOH to this buffer, the NaOH is going to react with the acid portion of the buffer, which is the bicarbonate. And so we have the reaction is HCO3 minus. And actually, I'm going to put the sodiums on here so everything balances out. So we have sodium bicarbonate plus NaOH goes to form sodium carbonate plus water. And whenever I added my 10 milliliters of buffer, I added 5 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of the bicarbonate and the carbonate. And for this reaction, let's add 12 milliliters of 1.0 molar NaOH, which adds 1.2 times 10 to the minus 2 moles of NaOH. And that means that 5 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of bicarbonate and NaOH react and form 5 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of sodium carbonate. And so if I do the subtraction, I get 0 moles and 7 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of NaOH and 1 times 10 to the minus 2 moles of carbonate. And so now I have to ask myself what is in solution. And what I have is a strong base. And I have a weak base. Since I have a strong base, it is going to completely dissociate and it's going to overpower any pH contributions from the weak base. So we get to ignore the weak base. And so to find the pH of a strong base, I consider how the strong base completely dissociates. And so that means that I put in 7 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of NaOH. And all of that goes away. And all of it and so I get 7 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of OH minus out at the end of the solution. So to get the pH, I need to go to the pOH first, and that's going to be minus log of the concentration of OH minus, and the concentration of OH minus in this case is 7 times 10 to the minus 3 divided by 0.22 milliliters or 0.022 liters. And so the pOH is equal to 0.50. The pH is equal to 14 minus the pOH, and so the pH is equal to 13.5. Okay, so this is all of the combinations for the buffer experiment part 2. I hope this has helped answer some questions.